Hey guys, Barbara here, and this is video number 4. This video is going to involve all dinner menus. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Because I have it's none other than the Honorable Mayor Aquilina Warren of my beautiful city. Oh, this is tasteful right here? Oh yeah, this is done. And guess what? My mom didn't turn her back on this. Mom, show me how you do the thing. That's when she's putting in ingredients and anything she's making. That's how she does this thing. Like these.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
So let me give you my little disclaimer once again. Remember, don't change your diet or your eating plan drastically before checking with your doctor or your physician, okay? Because you may have underlying problems that you know nothing about, and changing your eating plan drastically could cause some major problems. So check with your doctor first. For the first recipe, I'm going to be making tomato basil pasta. So we're going to use this wonderful organic quinoa blend pasta. Cook it according to package directions, but don't go more than 8 minutes. So I have some olive oil in this skillet right here. To this, I've added some diced onions, and I'm going to do my pepper blend, the red, orange, and yellow peppers, which is what I love. I don't like green bell peppers. And then to this, I'm going to add some diced tomatoes from the can, just half a can. And then, remember our tomato sauce that we made in the very first video? Yes, we finally got to use it. So now I'm adding some mushrooms because I love mushrooms. So add whatever you like, okay? That's the only way you're going to be able to last on this fast. Some salt and black pepper, a teaspoon of each. And this is the basil. Yes, and I have some oregano in this too. Just give it a stir. Make sure that the mushrooms become cooked. And then add the drained pasta. And then toss. And see, this dish is very simple, but very filling and very delicious. Yes, awesome. Now I'm going to show you guys a lazy dish, okay? This is split pea soup. I've got some diced onions here in the slow cooker and half a pack of green split peas. I normally like the yellow one, but I can only find that at Daddy's store, bluefield-prod.com. I'm adding water, and I always add about 12 cups of water because the slow cooker that I have, the Europro brand, tends to cook everything in 4 hours when you cook it on high. And so I'm going to leave it overnight on high, so as long as I have enough water, I'm okay. The next day, toss it in a pot, put it on the stove, and reduce it, and add salt and pepper, and you're good to go. This episode is brought to you by Beans and Rice in Jesus Christ, a collection of 101 Caribbean recipes for seasons of feast or famine. You want to start off by boiling half a box of whole grain penne pasta, according to the instructions, and then drain. And then all we have to do is saute some minced garlic in a little bit of olive oil. And then to this, I'm adding 1 cup of pureed pumpkin from the can, of course, and then coconut milk. And you only want to put so much coconut milk as you need to thin out the sauce, okay? Don't add any black pepper to this sauce because it's going to really change the taste of it. All you want to do is add some salt to your taste. And pretty much the sauce is done. Very simple recipe. Let me taste. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and dump it in a big beautiful bowl and then pour the sauce on top. Mix it all together so all the noodles get coated. And then we're going to plate this up so we can taste. I like the color and it smells pretty good. Alright guys, so let me grab my plate. I can't wait to taste this. I'm going in. Not bad at all. Not bad. So the key to a good stir fry is to get a good medley of stir fry vegetables. We're going to do it with brown rice, and I cooked this yesterday. And salt, black pepper, oregano, parsley, cumin, and garlic powder. Everything is going to be about a teaspoon except for the cumin. I've heated the pan with some extra virgin olive oil, and I'm only going to use half the bag of the frozen vegetables. And the trick to stir fry is no trick at all, guys. You have to stay here and stir it. So as soon as the vegetables become tender, I'm adding in my spices. And here comes my garlic powder. And then the cumin, I'm just going to shake from the can. My son Jory doesn't like the smell of cumin, so I try to do recipes with cumin when he's not here. So let me go ahead and stir. And now it's time to add the brown rice in. And I had this on the fridge, so it's cold and it's perfect for stir frying, all right? You just want to make sure that the rice is warmed up completely along with the vegetables before you cut off the heat. And then plate it up like this. Right guys, so vegetable soup is going to be exactly what it is, vegetable soup. This is some olive oil that I have heating up in the pan. I was tempted to add some of this in it, but then it wouldn't be just plain vegetable soup anymore, so I will not do this, okay? But you can do this if you want. So let's start by sauteing the onions. The celery. And the green onions. You guys remember this vegetable stock that we made? I'm going to use 14 ounces of it because that's about a tin. I'm going to use some mixed vegetables, some cabbage, and whatever we have in the pan already. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the broth. And I'm going to add some of my homemade tomato sauce. That will give it that nice rich soup color. And I'm just going to allow these to cook until they're a little bit more tender before we add these, because these are already cooked. And you know, cabbage cooks in no time at all. So that's been going for about, let's say 8 minutes. Time to add the rest. Some salt and pepper, and that's going to be to your taste. I did 1 teaspoon of each for right now. And the cabbage, and we're just going to let this simmer until the cabbage is tender. Now it's time for my favorite veggie burgers. We're going to start with some shredded cabbage, black beans, peppers, green onions, garlic powder, and oregano. And some salt, some oat flakes, and our little blender. Now all I have is the NutriBullet, so I have to do half the dose of everything that I have here because it's not going to fit. And I don't want to burn up my little machine, okay? So all we're going to do is put the beans in, and the beans will add the moisture that we need. And we're just going to try to chop this. This really needs a food processor, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. So let me see what it looks like here. See? Let me dump the first dose out. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the second batch. Same thing, just putting all the ingredients in. And we're going to blend. If you don't have a food processor and you're doing it in the NutriBullet like I did, it might get a little bit too mushy for you. Just add more oat flakes, alright? So you form them into patties. I have my pan going here with some extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to cook these just like we cook burgers, if I can get it up on this thing. So follow me, guys. And when you're doing things in a pan like this where you're going to do many, you always want to start at 12 o'clock and work your way around, because you're going to know which ones to flip first based on the ones you put in first. One's better. I want you guys to know that there's a less strict version of the Daniel fast, but I'm doing the more strict one, so no leavening agent, so we can't eat these burgers with bread. I know there's a flatbread out there, but I can't find it, so we're gonna do this animal style with lettuce, okay? So let me take a look at these. You have to let them cook like 4 minutes on each side. We're also gonna bake them when we're done for like, I'd say 20 minutes on 400, so I'm heating the oven. And the baking is only that you can firm them up some more. They look like real burgers, right? Here they are, fresh from the oven, guys. 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We are gonna make sandwiches from them, but not with bread. We're gonna use romaine lettuce. They're gonna be fine. Don't fret, all right? And I have some onions sliced up here with some distilled white vinegar and water. It's just soaking in that. And we're gonna use mustard. We're not gonna use ketchup or mayo because ketchup has a lot of sugar and mayo is made from animal product, okay? So I'm gonna assemble my little sandwich and I'm gonna taste. So let me put a layer of mustard down on my lettuce leaf and then one of the patties. I know people complain a lot when they're doing a meatless diet that they miss a good burger. And this is a really good burger, guys. You're gonna love it. Let me dive in. My goodness. Look at Joe has his plate off to the side. He's not even doing the fast with me. Oh, look at how beautiful they are though. Take a look, see? I've saved this recipe for last. This is my finale, guys. I really love this recipe. I learned it from Sister Betty from Life Church last year when she came to teach me how to do this when she was doing the Daniel fast. So this is what all we're gonna need. Diced up onions, kernel corn in a can with the juice, okay? Some cabbage and the okra, of course. In Belize we call it okra. But you guys know what it is. A whole lemon. You could use a lime instead. And here comes tomatoes. And I have this beautiful medley right here. And then turmeric or yellow ginger, black pepper, hot sauce, salt, and mushrooms. Now I've added quite a few things to this menu since I learned it from Sister Betty. So now we're just gonna heat some olive oil in a big skillet. No Lee skillet here, big skillet, okay? And then put in the okra. Drain off the juice from the corn, but don't throw it away because we're going to use it in the dish. We just don't need it all. So I'm just going to allow this to cook because it was frozen. So we want it to become tender, and we also want to cook the rope out, which is the slime. Again, another term that I learned from Sister Betty. She's such a beautiful lady. And then now I'm adding in the carrots. Everything that takes a while to cook has to go in first. And then the onions. And I guess this is why it's called succotash, because whenever you have corn in anything, you know, when you have to do with vegetables. So let me give this a stir. And this is when you want to start working in the juice from the kernel corn because you don't want it to burn. And you guys can probably tell I'm having some issues with my throat because I got a cold while doing these videos for the fast. But thank you for sticking with me throughout it all. Let me pour the juice from the whole lemon. We want everything, okay? And just stir. All we want to do is keep stirring so that nothing will burn. Now I'm adding in my salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of each, and this is the turmeric, 1 teaspoon. If you're gonna cook this with whole grain pasta, you can add another teaspoon of salt, but with the brown rice, the 1 teaspoon is enough. And then the mushrooms. I love mushrooms. And you just want this to cook until the mushrooms are thoroughly cooked. And you just keep adding that juice of the corn, you know, as much as you need it. All right? Now it's time to add the cabbage. You want to add the cabbage and the tomatoes last because those don't need a lot of time to cook. Some hot sauce. You don't have to put the hot sauce if you can't tolerate the heat because the turmeric is hot enough and the black pepper too. You don't want to mush up the tomatoes. So now the brown rice, and this was cooked today, so it's warm. It's not frozen from the fridge like the dish we just did. Yeah. You guys stick around for the next video because Jada is going to make her voiceover debut because I need to give my voice a rest, and thank God I have a little mini-me in Jada, and she's going to step up to the plate and help me out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the show, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for subscribing to the channel, for sharing this playlist, all right? Now click the link below and go to the 5th video. In that video, I'm going to show you other things you can do in a Daniel fast and snack ideas. Thanks, guys.